Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So here we are saying Dhruva Maharaj was getting guidance from Narada Muni, and he gives a very nice instructions initially, trying to actually check the determination of Dhruva Maharaj. So we were discussing this. Actually, important thing is that it is necessary for us to understand our instability for any of these yogas, which even Narada Muni is also telling to Dhruva Maharaj. You know, many yogis they did for a long time, it didn't get successful because most of the instructions, most of the practices they do are actually mechanically mastering the mind. That's why even they may be for devotees, it is a different path. So many people they are very fond of yoga, and yoga is actually preliminary way to people think it is for losing weight or in worst scenario all these things. But the important thing we understand that it is a fragile technique for mastering the mind, which even Narada is telling these yogis are trying for a long time. And but there is a very great science behind it because the great science is to get rid of karma, because as a result of karma mind has become like a full flowing river, and in this full flowing river a huge amount of thoughts, a huge amount of desires, a huge amount of anxieties, all this is the result of our past actions only. So each of our action, it creates a certain kind of certain knot in the mind, which is called sanskara. So now what happens is this bundle sooner or later leads us to worries. And this techniques to yoga technique and all these things, even for chanting also, that has developed by the sages from the past, is necessary in order to bring the mind to a completely pure, crystalline, calm state. And this calm state, then a man has infinite power. He can see the past, present, and future also. He can understand almost everything with this calm mind. So our mind now, uh, it is uh, it is highly programmed actually. So it is completely clouded, we can say, and it has so much pressure over it. So the techniques is very important to calm our mind. So in order for him to return the mind to its original crystal clear state, the mind, because mind has an ability to concentrate. It can concentrate on one thing, and but now people have practically forgotten this. We have discussed also. People think that they can do more than one thing. Watch TV and do so many things at a time, eat these things. But the law of mind is that mind can only engage in one action. This also we discuss. So why I'm telling this is, when mind jumps due to its uh, injustice from one action to another action, this means that I do not do any action properly. So, and because of the constant anxiety of mind that they have elevated to the rank, uh, so any anxiety of a person now it has become a norm, and people think that anxiety is common only. Peace of mind is something become abnormal now. People, the more anxious a person is, the more often he is scrolling on his mobile, one after another, one after another. He cannot watch one thing also, right? Now we will see how this time affects. We have discussed about determination also. Without determination, we will not achieve anything. So determination is very essential. The most important thing is that Uh, only thing that is required for us is our sincerity, and sincerely trying to increase our determination. And when Lord sees, then He will show His mercy and we can come out of it. Right now, uh, Bhagavatam is explaining that the goal should be very high. The goal that we are setting should be unattainable. What does it mean? Because Narada Muni says the only goal to be set is a goal that cannot be achieved in this world. So at first glance, a completely stupid statement. This is why set a goal that cannot be achieved. But Narada Muni says uh, that he says that he will achieve all goals that one way or another a person can achieve. Then he does not need to strain especially. So the usual goals of this world is money, pleasure, and something else, and they can be achieved. But the goal is that we want to achieve Krishna, which is unattainable. And we say we have time for it. Yes, yes. Whole eternity is in front of us. So, and this is actually what we have to practice for. The goal that cannot be achieved here in this material world. If you set a goal that itself says that this person is of a very high nature. So the person has a very high amount of understanding. So only thing that may be enough for us is we have, that's why all these scriptures are telling, try to put that as the goal, Krishna as the goal. And every day we should think at least one time, two time, okay, I want to achieve Krishna in my life. And whole Bhagavatam we are sitting and discussing now to achieve that goal only. And then we discussed about the quality of faith, the quality of ardent faith. So it is necessary and sufficient condition also for success. And we have to have this unshakable faith, and we can overcome all obstacles on this path by sincerely chanting and all these things. Now comes the point of stress. Stress comes in mind, this we have discussed, and it is said that we will start with this how uh, uh, t- this is there are some practical things we will discuss today, because stress arises under the influence of time. Very important point to understand. Like no time factor, it is affecting us. Now where is the time affecting us? It starts with our mind only. So Lord as a time controlling this world, and now he affects us in the mind only. So in the mind, it's the psychological effect of time is very nicely described in Bhagavatam. This material world, time is divided into three phases: past, present, and future. And we set almost an unbelievable task. What is our task? We want to leave this temporary world where everything is transient and go into a completely different dimension, to tune our soul or our consciousness to a different mode of being. But the time in which we are in itself prevents us from doing it. Because the time acts through our mind. So that means what? Our mind is holding us to go beyond this creation, because that is controlled by time only. So Srimad Bhagavatam said that the past is the source of longing. The past left us some wounds, some scares, some pain, some resentment, and we are constantly sought through them. And some sucking feelings that everything is not right, everything happened wrong to me. Now, this is how time, especially the past, presses us through our mind. And then it also presses through future also. Future is fear, anxiety, what will happen in the future. I need to achieve something. I need to be on time. I need not be late and all these things. So what happens is then we are flattened between this, they say there is a rock and hard place. So the past presses us with the scares, the future presses us with the fear. And therefore, in the present, what state we are in a stressful state. You are understanding. So past and present, our because our mind affected by time, it is in the past or in future, and because of this, the present is stressful. So the less we are anxious about the future and the less we are thinking about the past, less we are stressed. So what because what will happen in the future, I need to achieve something, and no, all these things are there. Now, Srimad Bhagavatam says that there is no such, it is called illusion according to, it's moha. They don't, there is no stress. Because Arjuna says, Nashta moha smriti labdva. He says, I am in moha. But according to us, the symptoms of Arjuna are stress. But Arjuna uses the word moha for stress. And because we always, stress is depicted is like, I need to do something. I need to be on time. I need to perform something. So this is actually how we are driven by all these things. Now, all these techniques and all is to help us bring to the present, trying to transfer our mind to completely different mode. The control of mind that Krishna speaks, especially in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, in other chapters also, especially means that we get rid of this illusion, the illusion we are in now. So stress is actually an illusion. There should not be any stress, because what is past, there is no, it is already gone, and there is no future also in one way. What is existing is present. And we come up with all these strange goals and all these insults, and which are invested by us, and so many other things. But we have to be in the present, because we deprive ourselves of that. So we do not, we have to, uh, yeah. So the techniques that are used in Ashtanga Yoga is, they, you sit and do breathing, and even Dhruva is also going to do it now. And what happened is, in the pure state of mind, then only you can concentrate. Dhruva want to concentrate on Supreme Lord. First thing his mother gave instruction is, don't be envious. Don't be in victim mentality. That means you are not damaging the mind in that way. So that means he can concentrate. And then Narada Muni comes, he gives a further level of instructions, how to concentrate. So these are actually very important. We want to concentrate on Supreme Lord. We should not damage our mind. We should not cause insults to anybody. We should not hear insults. We should not keep any resentment, negative feelings. All these things will damage the mind, will not help us to focus, right? We have discussed this many times. And this breathing exercise, all these things that yogis use to meditate only. Bhakti yoga, of course, Narada Muni tells Dhruva to do in a bhakti yoga meditation. And bhakti, basically, please try to understand, is our way of returning to the present. Meditation, basically, any meditation, is our way of returning to present, to the everlasting present. So when we simply find ourselves alone with the eternity. So when we understand the influence of time, so under the influence of the ever-changing world and the stress that is given to us, we have lost the present only. We are deprived of present. And this, any yoga teaches us to live in present. So as soon as we learn to live in present, our life will acquire a completely different quality. We'll be able to smile at others. We'll be able to rejoice. We'll be able to take our time in no hurry, because the failure will be in a hurry, whether, where we rush and all these things. So we can see some Maharajas also. They are completely, absolutely, they are not in any hurry. They walk, they talk to people, they smile, and they are no in hurry. So we need to have time to do something. But the only reality of the present will not run away from us. And at every moment we have an opportunity to come in contact with the reality. So, and of course, it is quite difficult. Even I want to understand it. That's why I'm speaking. Because That is the reason of my speaking about it. I wanted to meditate on it more and more. So I already spoke this 2, 3 times. I am repeating so that I understand it wrong. Because at every moment we have an opportunity to come in contact with this reality. And to do this, we only need to learn to invest our whole heart. We have to invest our whole soul, our consciousness at the moment. What is the most important thing in my life? That which I am doing now. Please try to understand. What is the most important thing in my life? That which I am doing now. If we understand, because what happens usually, my thought goes is the important thing in the future. All the time in the future. Something more important should happen. No, the most important thing is the thing which I am doing now. That is, I am chanting the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. If we learn this art, we'll immediately feel the power of the yoga, bhakti yoga, whatever yoga we are doing now. So, because sometimes people say that, oh, I am being studying for so long, uh, I have not moved anywhere, I have not moved. Where am I going? What am I doing? No, we should understand that there is nothing to go anywhere. We did not become anybody. Because if we had to become, we would have already become. Since we did not become, that means this is what we are. So there is a misunderstanding that I had to become something. No, come to the present. Don't become something. And we have access to this most important. The only thing I have to understand is to learn how to do it. I must have the unshakable faith in the end that everything will come. And because Krishna sees my efforts, the spiritual master sees my efforts and everything. And what happens is when we continue practicing like that, one day we'll get the spurti, the inspiration. This is actually what we are all waiting for. It may take long time, but one day Krishna will give it. Krishna will come and suddenly we'll get that spurti and then we end up in the spiritual world. We will immediately. So now, what happens is that uh, uh, this is actually we are slave to matter. So we are in a very miserable condition. We are always obeying matter. But when we practice sincerely this chanting, we realize that I am becoming free. Slowly, that freedom comes. So spiritual life is actually learning to put my heart and soul into what I am doing. So if I am washing the pots for the Lord, doing arati, anything we are doing, we have to just give ourselves 100%. So this is the most important thing in our life. If you do it, and this is actually, if I put my heart into it, this is my ability to do this, not for myself, but for the pleasure of Lord. So then we are very successful. Because what Krishna is doing, very interesting. Please try to understand. No, Krishna is a shepherd boy, is grazing cows. That's all. So now we are very convinced that Krishna is herding cows. That means what? This is uh, he is grazing cows. He's playing flute because he's absolutely free from stress. He's absolutely happy, and he's teaching us the same happiness. How to learn to put our heart into everything we learn, and how to show our love through it. So the greatest art in this world is learning to show our love. We can learn it, and we will also grace crows with Krishna, and he is also playing flute because when he plays the flute, he puts so much love into each note that when people hear it, they become crazy. So the eternal present. So Krishna is always in eternal present. He's not in a hurry. He's so cool. He's so blissful, and that's what he want to give all of us. Just be in the present. So where there is no past and future, there is no pressing past and pressing future like that. And Krishna says this will happen very soon. So he gives all this promise to us, and we have to accept his promise. And he's saying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, he's also doing the same thing. He wanted to help the conditioned souls by this process. And yeah, so Narada is going to do this. So just before uh, starting, we'll take these two questions. Yes, Gail Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah, a couple things. One is, when you were saying that we shouldn't be focused on, oh, I have to become this, I have to become that, you know? And I think the reason why you were saying that is because when a person thinks like that, they're focusing on the future, right? Instead of the present. Is it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Okay. I
See,
mean, and
what is important, na? It is not that in this material world, this is another big problem for the present age, that people show somebody says, okay, you have to become like him, you have to become like him. No, no, no. In Vedic culture, it was never like that. Vedic culture is whatever you are good at, your that is your psychophysical nature, that will be your dharma. You perform it for the pleasure of Lord. You have a role in the society. So if I can do some carpenter work, I need not become any multi-millionaire. I just
mm-hmm,
have to do that job of a carpenter,
mm-hmm,
design nicely, offer it to Lord, and do some service to the society, and I'm happy. I don't compete with some software engineer. No.
yeah.
And say if you are a Brahmana, you don't compete with a Kshatriya. You just remain a Brahmana. So you are not trying to become somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you are, you have a role in the society. You can give your contribution.
Oh, so you meant it in that way.
So this is actually then no, then I can be putting my heart in doing what I am, because whatever I am, I just have to do that in a proper way. I need not become somebody else, right? I
Mm-hmm.
can just give myself, okay, I am a carpenter. Let me remain a good carpenter and try to do
Mm-hmm.
best to please the Lord.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So then,
there's that.
then your mind is more calm, and then what happens? Your mind can
Oh, yes,
think
your
of something
your
higher spirit.
oh, okay. The the sound was not coming. Yeah,
Now
can
you
you
are able
repeat?
to hear? Yeah. So
It's
now
breaking
because
a
I am
little.
very calm,
Uh-huh.
now it's okay. It's clear.
Yeah, it goes
You're
in
able
and
to
out,
hear
but
now.
yeah, yeah, now it's okay.
So what I am telling is, say now, because I'm just focusing on what I am doing, full heart I am doing, my mind is think of something higher to achieve in life. That means, okay, let me think of spirituality, let me deliver myself. So that type of thought will come, because I'm already satisfied with my job, what I am doing. I know there is a security, there is no insecurity in life. I am secure with my position, I am secure with my job, because I know I have a position, I have something to contribute to society. I'm completely satisfied. I don't want to become somebody. So this makes me think of something higher in life. So in that way, we progress.
Because you're peaceful. Because you're peaceful. Because the mind is
Yeah,
peaceful. It
yeah,
can think of
peaceful. Yeah.
spiritual things.
Yes, yes, yes,
Uh-huh.
yes. Now, so
Okay.
if I am doing
Uh-huh.
something which I don't like, then mind is always in stress.
Yeah. Okay. Very good segue into my second question, because when you were talking about stress, right? In that, at you were saying that people are um feeling lack when they think about the past, and they think of that, and they become an anxiety when they think about the future, right? But they're in stress in the present, right?
Yeah,
So I was wondering, I wasn't able to really see the difference between anxiety for those who are focused on the future and stress, because I mean, for me, stress and anxiety, they're like the same. So what do you mean that stress is in the present, something you feel in the present.
So what happens is our mind is getting affected because of the past and future. That's why there is some sort of stress that is going on. Some sort of
Oh,
moha
oh,
is there because it is either in the past or in the future. It's not in present. So I am not able to live now. Either I am worried about what happened, going to
okay.
happen in future, or I am so much sad that something did not happen good for me in the past.
Yeah. Okay. Just one last thing, Prabhu, is you began the near the beginning of the class about again this topic of multitasking, that the mind cannot focus on more than one thing at a time.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering how you would explain the experience of some people. Um, I mean, that one person that I've heard from others, that's not my own experience. But for example, when some people, in order to actually pay attention to a lecture, right, they have to be doing something like making garland, you know? And if their hands are not busy, then they cannot focus on lecture properly. So how would you explain that?
Yeah, it is actually their mind is very distracted. So they are doing two things at a time. They are doing Garland also, they are hearing also. So they wanted to, they are not a, because their mind is not just holding on just one lecture. It is very distracted mind. So slowly, they have to bring their mind to mode of goodness. They are in completely affected by mode of passion. So passion means you have to do some activity. You just sit means your mind will go in ignorance. They have to bring the mind from ignorance to passion. So basically, the people who cannot sit and listen, they are in ignorance. So what they do, they bring their mind to passion and hear, so that at least some information is going inside. But we have to bring our mind to goodness. So there is three levels. So passion, ignorance, and goodness. So just sitting and hearing is goodness. Doing activity and hearing is in passion, and not able to hear is in ignorance. Because these people are in ignorance, they need a support of passion to come. Like say, I am sleeping on the bed and I don't want to wake up. Like the mother comes and says, "Today I have a special breakfast for you." Then you get up and take bath and go. What happened? Ignorance. Then you get a passion. You have to give
Mm-hmm.
them passion. So we have a saying in in Telugu and even in India also. If some boy is
Oh, breaking, your
lazy,
voice breaking. Uh,
now you are able to hear me?
now, yeah. Now, yeah. Mhm.
You're able to. So
Well,
they're
anyway,
saying that if a
I
boy is
missed.
lazy, they
Uh,
say that,
uh,
yeah. So they
yes.
say that if a boy is lazy, you get him married. So why? Because he will come to mode of passion. He's in ignorance. So
Mm,
these
mhm.
people, for them to concentrate, why they have to do is because they are in ignorance. They need help of passion. So it is not
So,
focusing of mind. It is just bringing the mind to little bit of passion so that they can hear at least in between. They are not. It is not 100% focus hearing. They'll get some knowledge in it, but they are not able to process 100% completely.
so, um, a
They
person.
will they will process maybe 70, 60, 70, 30, 40%, not 100%.
Okay, so a person who is in the mode of ignorance,
Yeah.
that they you say hearing in the mode of ignorance means is completely. I mean, passion is you're distracted, right? I mean, I'm not sure what hearing and ignorance
No,
is.
no,
How does
not
that?
hearing. In ignorance, we cannot hear properly. That's why they are not able to sit and they need some help of passion. So they are coming out of ignorance. So at least little bit of hearing they are able to do, not 100%, even that also.
So
So
yeah, so no, but if not being able to hear means you
see,
cannot
what
bring
happens
your
is,
mind, you cannot
no,
bring your mind at all to the speaker.
haha,
You
see,
just
I'll
can.
tell you. See, what
Uh,
happens is if you are hearing any material thing, they can focus. But when it comes to spiritual knowledge, the mind rebels. Mind says it's too heavy for me. It's spiritual. So it does not want to take it. Say if it is a movie or a music or some mundane music, mind does not say any problem because it is already used to such type of taste. Now suddenly you are giving some spiritual taste to it and does not have any taste only in that. So then what you have to do, because I don't like only spirituality, like say I getting a bitter medicine. So what I do, you sugarcoat the bitter medicine and you take it. So similarly, mind is completely against any hearing of spiritual content. Even now also, whole day if you are told to hear, mind says, okay, enough is enough. I don't want to focus. So immediately mind puts off because there is no taste in it. So then what happens? Then you take help of passion. You say, okay, I will do some garland. So mind says, okay, do garland. And while doing garland, the message is going inside the ears. So the mind is switching between garland and hearing, garland and hearing, not just hearing. It is doing both the things. So mind cannot do only one thing. So mind can do only one thing. So either garland and hearing. So in between garland, hearing. So you are giving the dose with an action. So mind is taking little bit. It is just if you make it sit and hear, mind says no, no taste, no taste. I don't want.
oh, so it's like a kind of sugar coating,
Yeah.
right? Uh, yeah. But one last thing on this point is that, you know, what would you say? Because you said that the mind cannot actually focus on two things. But what if you're hearing, right? But you're simultaneously doing something else that is a mindless chore, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
You
Those
know,
that is the programming of the subconscious mind. So we do activities, say like I'm walking and I'm hearing. So now my legs are doing the job and I can hear also. So that is because the body is already programmed. That's why you can hear.
uh,
Otherwise, that time that's not a problem. You don't need much conscious mind to act to do walking. You just
uh-huh.
walk. But sometimes there is a traffic or anything. In that you cannot focus. You are just walking in a garden or park. That's a different. But you are walking on a road, highway with so much traffic and all. That time you cannot focus because you need
Right.
to put some interest. You end
Yeah.
up in.
So activities that you can do like automatic pilot, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That at that time you can like
Yeah,
multitask.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you so much for that.
Correct. Shyam Vallavi Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. Prabhuji,
Yeah.
you told stress and anxiety are all illusion.
Sorry, Mataji. Please unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Huh.
You told that stress and anxiety are all illusion only. It is a problem of the mind.
Yeah.
So in the modern days, we see people going to the psychiatrist for for this mind problem. That is okay with the non-devotees, but if a devotee has got this stress, anxiety, why he should go to a psychiatrist? That is my question, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Actually, what happens, Mataji, if it is in a lesser level, very small initial stage, then our practice is sufficient to come out of it. But it goes something beyond. They are going in a very high stressful state. Then it is very much important that they should go to a professional and come to a normal state. Say if our stress level is only 10-20%, our bhakti is sufficient to make it control. But it is like 70-80-90% of stress, then better go to a professional because they have a different ways of curing it. So now say if I have some stomach problem, I can fast. But there are some ulcers in the stomach, then I need to go to a doctor. Then he will give some medicine, get cured. So if there's some simple stomach problem, if I fast for 1-2 days, I can overcome it. But it's a serious problem, then we have to go to doctor. Same thing here also. Our mind
But
also.
psychiatrist gives medicine only to the brain, na Prabhuji. That is my question.
No,
He
no, no.
doesn't deal with the mind.
Actually, because the mind is a hardware. It is holding the emotions of mind. The brain is holding the emotions of mind, so it has effect. They have, I don't know how the medicine work, but they may be having some energy in the medicine which is affecting the mind, so it affects. They give basically they try to dull that part. if they are so much anxious, the medicine make them sleep. They make them, that part is excited so much. So what they do is this medicine will reduce that excitement in that part of the brain. So something like that they do.
So you
So
are
which
saying that by bhakti, it will not, you may not, you need the help of the doctor. By
When
doing,
it is in
but
a very
devotee
serious
is
case,
doing.
where it's a serious case, in normal case it is not. Like for us, if we are in anxiety, you just sit and chant and hear Bhagavatam, we can overcome. But somebody goes they have very extreme cases, then they definitely have to go to doctor.
Okay, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Correct.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Sita Kanpur.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandos, madam. Thank you for the class talk. Prabhuji, that Yashoda Maya, she was churning the butter and singing Krishna's pastimes, Leelas. So she's doing multiple things now, Prabhuji.
Ha, ha, ha. Actually, there, bro, it is completely the heart is with Krishna only all the time. So any activity they do, they chant, they continuously chant the holy name of Krishna or glories of Krishna. So their action and their heart is completely different. So Yashodama is just churning, but her heart is in Krishna only. So she starts churning, but she is singing. So this happens. Devotees also, when they are doing some activity, they completely get absorbed. They don't know how time passed. So from morning onwards, they are sitting and chanting the holy name, and it becomes night, and they don't know how the time passed. So it happens also. So this is the heart is like that. So it's not multitasking. It is, and they are also in completely stress to please Krishna. Yashodama is in super stress compared to anybody else. But that stress is out of love. So that is completely different. That is in present. So that multitasking is allowed. Like you are doing dressing for the Lord and you are singing for the Lord because you want to give Him pleasure. And this is actually like mother also, no? When she is cuddling the child, she is singing something and no, she is saying something to the child. So she is doing many things, but ultimately, to please the child. Similarly, we are also trying to sing for the Lord for pleasure of Him. While offering bhog also we sing. While doing arti we sing. We want to give pleasure to the Lord, so that is allowed.
Prabhuji, singing, I mean, okay, we do, okay, we are singing, okay, we are doing puja and we are glorifying the Lord. That's okay, but like we're doing some service, Prabhuji, and playing that videos, sorry, listening to lectures and all, that is not recommended, huh?
Means we cannot focus. Say if you are telling, if you are talking to the Lord or you are discussing and you want to make the Lord hear, you see, such a nice discussion. You also hear, I also hear. But if you are having that relation with the Lord and doing, that's different. But better is kirtan, we have to be with the Lord. See, basically, if I am hearing lecture, I cannot be with the Lord. Either I am hearing or I am with the Lord. But in Kirtan, what happens is you are trying to repeat that for the pleasure of Lord. In lecture, you cannot repeat no, for the pleasure of Lord. Say if I kept, okay, Hari He Dayala Mora Jaya Radhanatha. So I kept the Kirtan. I also repeat. And I want to give pleasure to the Lord while doing the service for the Lord, like that. So there is a difference in that, in lecture and Kirtan.
Police company, as you said, somebody's doing the online service and they keep playing the lectures. So there the
That is allowed.
concentration.
That is allowed. You
Okay,
are
but also their focus is not complete project, and that's why that's what you
you are dealing with a person, then you have to be very focused. When you are dealing with deities, you are dealing with the person. So when garland service or any cooking service, we can hear lectures and all. That's not a problem. But when we are directly dealing with the Lord, that time we have to focus on Him. That is compulsory.
project like sadhakas recommendation is we should focus on only on one thing like chanting time, full focus on chanting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, and, yeah, and listening or reading also full focus. So that's
Yeah.
what you.
Yeah, while reading, you should not play music and read. That time when we are in colleges, when we are studying our material mundane books, that time we play mundane music and we
Yeah,
study
correct.
both. That should not be done.
Oh, so we are doing some work in computer like laptop, and all. We can play some kirtans and some.
Kirtans, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, fine.
That
Thank
is, see, all these things, na, this is to remember Krishna. So there is a difference. Say, when you are doing your office job, you are playing Kirtan. It is not multitasking. What we are trying to do there is we are trying to remember Krishna in between. Like when sometimes we completed our chanting, now we are going for market to purchase something. We take our bead bag while chanting, we go. Now, in that
Correct.
case, that does not come as regular chanting, not our 16 notes. But in that case, the chanting is to help us remember Krishna all the time. That's why we take our bead bag for chanting. So we cannot say that, oh, you are not attentive while doing this. No, we are not counting in our regular chanting, but we are taking our bead bag and chanting there in the market also, so that I can remember Krishna all the time. So there is a
Okay.
difference in that.
Prabhuji, is, regarding the time, Prabhuji. So somebody is thinking about the past and future. It's an illusion, Prabhuji.
Means it's illusion only, no? Future, you don't know future, but I am worried about future. See, I don't know what is future, but it is worrying me. So it is illusion or reality.
Prabhuji, without
So
future,
if
how
I
do
think
you?
I'll get if I get accident tomorrow, if I get if I lose my money tomorrow, if I lose my job tomorrow, if my wife dies tomorrow, if I am thinking like that, is it illusion or reality?
Illusion, only,
That's
Prabhuji.
the future is illusion only, no, in one way. I don't know what is going to happen, but I am worried about it.
Planning, Prabhuji, like I don't say like future. I say we were planning for the life now. We have to plan, Prabhuji, for future.
Planning is different, anxiety is different. No? You can plan, but
Okay.
you need not worry about it because Krishna ultimately, if you want to make Krishna laugh, you plan and show to Krishna. Krishna says, Arey, I already planned, and he is planning and showing to me. Ultimately, Krishna's plan work. We make plan to be just to
We may
to
desire also. We have some desires also. We can desire now, Prabhuji. We can desire. We may plan. We may
yeah,
desire.
you can desire, but ultimately Krishna's desire only will work. But we can desire and tell to Krishna, if you want, let it happen.
So when we really think about future or past and we worry, then it's illusion. Correct, Prabhuji.
Yes, yes, yes.
Just I plan and I plan or I may aspire something. It's not illusion. Just
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
want to.
just
What?
to be practical, that okay, this is what I had to do to be practical. That's all. So I
Prabhuji,
had some
present.
plans for today, but I don't know whether my plan will work for today or not because Krishna may have some other plan. So I plan to be practical, but ultimately I know whatever Krishna wants.
Okay. Prabhuji. So just I am doing present activity, Prabhuji. Some material activity that is also illusion, na, Prabhuji. Suppose some mental activity, I am present only. I am not thinking about future or past. I am just doing some mental activity now. That's also illusion, Prabhuji.
No,
Like
no,
we can.
it's reality. No, we are doing now. You are hearing class now. I'm speaking class now. It is happening no, now. Why it is illusion?
Because it's a devotional activity, it's a real problem. If I do some
Material activity also real, but it is temporary. Devotional activity is permanent. That's the difference.
fine, thank you. Thanks.
This name is not there. Can unmute and ask question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Panchang Pranams Prabhuji. So, thank you for the class. My question is in connection and relation with the question that Mother Gail Mataji asked about performing service, doing something and listening to the class. So, in my case, the zone which I am in, like I am in UAE, Dubai. So Balram Shakti Prabhu's class starts for my times 5:45, and in that time, my children's bus comes at 6:10. So that time I'm very much in the kitchen preparing prasadam and cooking and listening to the class. So you mentioned that when we do two activities, it is in the mode of passion. So, but I don't want to miss the morning time. It's a nice time. I don't want to miss the Bhagavatam time, but I don't have the option to listen to the class after. I mean, I want to be a part of that in the morning time. I want to utilize my morning time in listening also, and at the same time, I'm cooking also. So, how do we understand this?
No, no, that is not a problem. The problem for you in your case, na, many times I also do. There na, you cannot make 100% focus on what you are hearing. So you may get only 40% information, 30%. Sometimes I hear some lecture doing some activity, and then again I hear the lecture 2 3 times I hear. Then I understand, I never heard this point only. I never heard this point because we missed the point. So then now 2 times I heard this lecture, and when I am repeating the third time when I am hearing, then I understood, oh, these all things are told. So what happens is, when we are doing both activities, our mind switches off, switches from one activity to another. So sometimes you are focusing on something, on cooking, and then you hear, then you cook, then you hear. So it is switching on. So what happens in that, you miss some points from the lecture. So in that way, we are not 100% able to hear that whatever is explained. So that's the reason we have to hear 2 times. So if you are doing, like say, cooking and hearing, you hear the lecture 2 times. Some other time also you hear the recording, so that you will know that, oh, these are the points which I missed. So some people, if it is a very mechanical activity, like same item you are making, like say you are making a bread or toast every day for your breakfast of children, then your concentration on lecture will be more. But you are making every day new items, then your concentration on lecture will be less. So it depends on how much the activity which you are doing is mechanical, right?
But it is halfway, I think, correct. But most of the time, I feel is when I put on the lecture and I cook, I make the prasad. I am more I mean, my concentration is more. I can like I'm able to understand because my focus is more on the lecture still because cooking is just happening that way. I mean, it
Yeah,
just
because you are very used to your cooking, so it becomes easy for you to concentrate. But still, you will miss. You cannot get 100% of the lecture. You may miss some part of it because your mind will switch on to some of the activities in cooking.
no. But is that does it come under passion? But because I really want to
Yes,
hear,
it
I don't
is.
want to miss even some
No, no, that is not wrong. You can do that. That's not wrong. But why it is passion? Because you are not getting 100%. If you sit and take a book, hear the lecture, making notes and trying to analyze it, there is a difference between analyzing, sitting and analyzing and hearing the class, and cooking and hearing class. Is there a difference?
yeah, definitely there is a
So
difference.
that's the difference. This isn't passion, that isn't goodness. But it
Okay.
is not wrong. You can do this. I am not telling it is wrong, but you should also do of just sitting and listening lectures in some other part of the day also.
Yeah, that happens with some other class when my timings are like I am not occupied, so that time I can attend the class
Yeah,
sitting and
that is sufficient. That is good.
yeah, that's it. So, but it's not like always I get a chance to again listen to the same lecture again
Not a problem.
because
Not a problem.
there are multiple classes happening in a
Yeah, yeah.
day.
No,
So
no, not a
every time
problem.
we cannot come back to the class.
Yeah,
But
yeah. No.
definitely the points which are discussed, then when we sit for a class, that day I share the examples that you or Prabhu have shared in the class with the other devotees with whom I'm discussing. So I'm so that is how I am able to at least recollect what I had try to recollect what I had heard in the morning.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's agreeable, not a problem.
Okay, Prabhu.
You
And
will
really
you are
grateful and
benefiting.
thankful to all the devotees because I'm not able to participate much, but the questions are asked, and whatever the doubts that we have, we get to, there is more clarification on the, uh, what we say, the philosophical points when so many devotees ask questions. So thank you and grateful for that. Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
because they are sitting and making notes, they are able to ask many questions. So you also, some lectures, you will also get questions like this.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Shyam Vallavi Mataji, you have some question? Or it is
No,
something?
Prabhuji, sorry.
Okay, okay. Gail Mataji, it is by this.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah, a couple things. Well, one, when you were speaking to one Prabhu earlier, and this same multitasking thing came up, I got a little confusion when you were saying that, like, if you're listening to kirtan or participating in the kirtan, and you are, let's say, making garlands at the same time, I didn't understand what you were saying about that kind of multitasking. Listening to, participating in kirtan and making garland. What do you say about that?
So I'm telling that we are trying to remember Krishna while doing that activity. That's why we can do it. It is not that I am exclude, that is my listening time, because this is a mechanical activity. I know my hands will definitely go to the flowers and they are making the garland. So it's like little more mechanical. My body is trained to it. So when I'm hearing, I am trying to focus on Krishna, trying to remember Krishna. So when you are going to market, you take your bead bag chanting, and you may ask what is the price of this, and you purchase, and in between you are chanting. So there we are trying to remember Krishna. It is not my
Oh,
exclusive chanting time. It is not exclusive hearing time. So it's my chanting, it's my other activity, but in between, I don't want to forget Krishna.
oh, like that.
Yeah.
Okay, Prabhu. And then one last thing is, you know how you are saying that, or we often hear this, that material activities are temporary and devotional activities are permanent. So when we say that the devotional activities are permanent, right, even though they have a beginning and an end, we say that they are permanent because the effects on our consciousness are permanent, or what is the reason if not that?
Yeah, because not effect on the consciousness, because both have effect on consciousness. Even material activity also has
Yeah,
effect on
true,
consciousness.
true,
So
true.
what is permanent in the sense, because Krishna takes note of it. Krishna says he did something for me. So, for every lifetime you have done some activities, few activity devotional service, it carries on to the next life also. It goes on, like you can continue 10% bhakti in lifetime, next lifetime from 11%. So bhakti is always eternal. Whatever service we have done to Krishna, it always remains with us.
Oh, so it's permanent in the sense that it remains in our spiritual bank account
Account,
forever.
yeah.
Oh, because I mean, Krishna, he makes note of our material activities too, right?
Yeah, that comes in form of karma.
Mm-hmm. So actually, um, when Krishna makes note of our material activities, he makes note as Paramatma, not as Goloka Krishna, Nanda.
See, what happens is, see, when we do devotional activities, our consciousness is changing slowly. We are becoming closer to Krishna. When I'm doing material activity, I may go to Swargaloka also, I may go to hell also, and again go to Swargaloka, hell. I'm just in this material world. It's a temporary world. But when I do any spiritual activity, it is changing my consciousness and making me closer and closer to Krishna. And I'm elevating my consciousness, I'll become closer to Krishna. Krishna takes note of it.
Yeah.
So there is a difference, because just staying in the prison, you are in the upper prison or lower prison, you are in the prison only. So whatever activity you are doing in this temporary material world, which is bhutva praliyate. But spiritual activity is not like that. Spiritual activity, like I chanted today, it is in my eternal account. It will remain, and I can continue from there. So slowly, when I become perfect, I can go to spiritual world, because that account remains. But if I do punya, after some time it get exhausted. Na? If I go on to heaven and enjoy, all my charity and all this is gone. Again, I have to come and do the charity again. But when it comes to bhakti, your bhakti will never go. You continue 10%, it will go from 11%. It's always with you.
Right. Beautiful. Beautiful, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Sitakan Pro, you had question or just previous? Okay, so without touching any shloka, we completed our time. I'll just, as a formality, I'll take one shloka. And this yesterday's, yeah. So just one shloka, will be one shlokas. It says that the sage Maitreya continued, the great personality Narada, upon hearing the words of Dhruva Maharaj, became very compassionate towards him, and in order to show him his causeless mercy, he gave him the following expert advice. So till now, Narada tried to test, because it is said in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu also that we should not accept somebody unqualified disciples. The disciple should be qualified, then only you accept. So here we are seeing Narada first tested Dhruva Maharaj's determination. That's why his story came in Bhagavatam. Otherwise, there is no way that Narada enters into the pages of Bhagavatam. If you want to reach into the pages of Bhagavatam, there should be that much caliber. The person should be really caliber. So here we see that Dhruva Maharaj is of that caliber, and he entered into Bhagavatam. So the point here is that Narada Muni properly tested him. He did not just accept it. Okay, he's a son from a very rich father, and because of which he is. If I have a good disciple like him, I'll get nice facilities. He will give to me a nice Ferrari car and some nice villa because he's a very rich disciple. So Narada didn't had any issues. Like he wanted to really see somebody sincere. So here he found that somebody. And Prabhupada, since the great says Narada is foremost of spiritual master, naturally his only activity is to bestow the greatest benefit upon whomever he meets. Dhruva Maharaj, however, was a child, and so his demand was also that of a playful child. Still, great sage became compassionate towards him, and for his welfare, he spoke the following verse. So this is the sage is compassionate. And then Maitreya further describes, he says that Narada, the great sage Narada told Dhruva Maharaj, the instructions given by your mother, Suniti, to follow the path of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead is just suitable for you. You should therefore completely absorb yourself in devotional service to the Lord. So he is trying to make this point again to Dhruva that okay, you continue doing the service which follow the instruction which your mother said, because that is going to work. That means now Dhruva, he had full faith that okay, let me go to a person who will help me. And his mother told, go to Supreme Lord, he will help you. And where you will find him? Sages go to forest and meditate, you also try. And he comes to the forest, he sees, now Narada is telling, no, no, forest is not for children, you should play, you should forgive, you should accept the will of Lord, and no, it's very difficult, nobody did it. Dhruva said, don't give me such instructions because I am a Kshatriya. It does not affect me. Somehow I have to achieve only. And Narada said, yes, whatever your mother said is right. You have to do this. And Dhruva's demand was to achieve an abode even greater than Lord Brahma. See, if I know that this person can give me, and then Dhruva thought, if he can give me, let him give me something best only. Why I should compromise something less? I know the biggest person is Brahma. I want bigger than Brahma. So this is sometimes children we have this demand. He said, how much big chocolate you want? I want to have a big chocolate the size of my house. So sometime in a childish way they say the chocolate should be big as a car, chocolate should be big as a house. And then Dhruva is telling, I want to have a kingdom greater than my great grandfather also. But within this universe, Lord Brahma is supposed to be in the most exalted portion, for he is the chief of all demigods. But Dhruva Maharaj wanted to uh, a realm beyond this. Therefore, his desire was not to be fulfilled by worshipping any demigod. As described in Bhagavad Gita, the benedictions offered by demigods are all temporary. So now no demigod can do it. Even Brahma also cannot do it, because Brahma did not get his post because of his power. It is by Lord's mercy. Therefore, Narada Muni asked Dhruva Maharaj to follow the path recommended by his mother, to worship Krishna Vasudeva. When Krishna offers anything, it is beyond the expectation of the devotees. Both Suniti and Narada Muni knew that the demand of Dhruva Maharaj was impossible for any demigod to fulfill, and therefore both of them recommended following the process of devotional service to Lord Krishna. So even if he does not achieve, but he worshipped Supreme Lord, there is no loss. So both of them, they understood that they are not thinking whether he will achieve or not. They are thinking he is kept in a right direction. See what Suniti did, instead of making Dhruva revengeful, she gave him a right direction. She said, okay, don't be envious, don't be in a victim mentality, don't blame anyone, accept reality, take help of Supreme Lord. So now, even if Dhruva did not get, but he performed bhakti, his desire for revenge and negative thing anyway will go away, even if he does not get kingdom. So in that way, he will get benefited. Same thing happened to Kashyap Muni when Diti wanted to kill Indra. Kashyap Muni, what he did, instead of telling, okay, have this weapon, take this weapon, he tricked her to perform devotional service. So in that way, after devotional service, Diti's heart got cleansed and she gave up the desire to kill Indra. So ultimately, it benefited only. So here also, Dhruva, when he is affected, mother is telling, okay, take shelter of Supreme Lord. Even Dhruva didn't get anything material, but he will be completely satisfied because you are connected to the Supreme Lord. So Narada Muni is referred to here as Bhagavan because he can bless anyone just as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He was very pleased with Dhruva Maharaj and he could have at once personally given whatever he wanted. But that is not the duty of the spiritual master. His duty is to engage the disciple in proper devotional service as described in the Shastras. Krishna was similarly present before Arjuna, and even though he could have given him all facilities for victory over the opposing parties without a fight, he did not do so. Instead, he asked Arjuna to fight. In the same way, Narada Muni asked Dhruva Maharaj to undergo devotional service in order to achieve the desired result. So, this is how the spiritual master gets. Okay. Thank you all very much. Yeah, Vilasni Radhamat, she made a comment. Whenever time, we must give 100% to lecture. This is possible generally to direct classes. Yes. Uh, You had any questions? Okay, we have questions. 1 minute. Sitakan Pro, you have questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, Dhruva got insulted by stepmother.
Yeah.
And so, what is the connection, Prabhuji? He wanted to get a bigger kingdom than his father. Actually, the problem is he missed it. I mean, father's affection he could not get, na Prabhuji. That's the actual thing. Na? He wanted to sit on the lap of his father. So then, how it is connected to getting a bigger kingdom, Prabhuji?
Because Suniti says, no, you are not qualified for this. So then he felt, I am not qualified for this, then I'll get something bigger than this.
Qualified means actually they're actually not the position of the affection, love na Prabhuji. He's missing the father's love na Prabhuji.
He actually makes the statement like that. She said, you are not qualified to sit here. You should be born again to sit in the lap of your father.
Then, Prabhuji, then why doing married tapasya and like bigger than Brahma's kingdom you want? Why? I mean, what is the connection?
No, if you are saying that you are not qualified,
Hmm.
so what she says is that, my dear child, you do not deserve to sit on the throne. So this is the word she uses. You don't sit deserve or on the lap, both of the king. Surely you are also the son of a king, but because you did not take birth from my womb, you are not qualified to sit on your father's lap and even the throne also. My son will sit on the throne. He said, oh, I will not get this throne, I will get a better throne.
So actually, I think probably two things are there: sitting on the lap of his father, and one more thing is throne probably. So he was
Ah.
actually doing tapasya with throne. Correct, no?
He said, okay. And she says that you are unaware that you are not born from my womb. Therefore, you should know that your attempt is doomed to failure. That hurt him so much. Arey, how I am failure.
Achha.
And then she also tells, if you at all desire to raise to the throne of the king, then you should undergo austerities.
Mm.
So she makes that statement directly.
I think this is the main important segment, Roger, which caused him to, I think, just now.
Yeah.
But yeah, affection, father's affection, yeah, that
That is
also
also one part, but other words are also there which affected him.
fine, Roger. Okay, thank you.
Gail Mataji, you had something? Previous one.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, in connection to this, following up with this question, I mean, I've always felt that Dhruva, he, because he was so hurt about being denied, you know, the affection in the form of sitting on his father's lap, and because he was so hurt by Suruchi's words, his desire for a kingdom greater than that of even Lord Brahma was really a defensive kind of desire. It was like out of hurt and out of resentment that he was treated in this manner. I saw it as being more symptomatic of his hurt. Like when a child is rebuked or denied something he wants out of anger, you know, he develops, what a desire for something bigger. Not that he actually so much wants that other thing. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, even Dhruva agrees and he repents. When Lord comes, he says, "Oh, what a fool I am. What did I ask from the Lord?" So he also feels that this is not right what I did.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like his desire was just simply symptomatic of deep, deep hurt.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
hmm Okay, Prabhu, one last thing about, again, I'm going back to this multitasking. I'm just asking your opinion. When I listen to lectures, right, it's really so important for me to catch every point. And I marvel at people who are able to write prolific notes while listening to lecture. I marvel because if I for every word that I try to write, that means that's a point that I'm going to miss from the lecture. I cannot multitask like that. I cannot take notes and listen to lecture and hope to get every point. So I just don't understand how it is that a person, because you call this mode of goodness, when a person is able to listen to lectures and take notes. So I don't know, why is it that I am not able to multitask in that way, hear attentively and take notes. For me, it's like impossible. I'm something is going to suffer. I won't be able to, because while I'm writing, I cannot also catch the point. I have to my all my attention has to be on hearing the lecture. So what is your diagnosis of this
So
situation?
there is a different thing, like somebody, na, like I take notes, like I have two styles also. Like you are continuously taking notes. That means you are just hearing and writing, hearing and writing. So in that, na, we will not process what is the logic, what is the systematic. It is difficult. So sometimes what type of notes is like you're just trying to see the logical sequence. You only write the logical sequence. You don't write whole notes. And some type of notes is you are writing very inspiring points. So this was so good. Like
Yeah,
Maharaj
that's
said.
my thing. That's
So
the kind of note I take. Like something that really kind of sticks out for me, and I don't want to forget it. But
yeah,
I have to write that even in code, so that just like abbreviated way, so that I don't miss what
the other
the
point.
lecture is. Yeah, the next point.
Yeah, yeah. So people they have different ways of if they are continuously writing notes. Sometimes I do when I am hearing some things. What I do, I continuously write and I pause because it is recorded. So I pause and hear. So like Bhakti Vigyan Maharaj, I attend retreat. So I write notes. And then when I feel that Maharaj is telling something which is like very, very technical, then I stop writing notes. I know if I
Ah,
wrote, I'll miss something. And again go and hear the recording. At least two times I hear the recordings. Then only I understand it. So
yes,
some
yeah.
things which I know that this is I understand. So immediately I write. But some points I know that this I cannot comprehend. Then I stop because I want to hear it more attentively. Something while writing also I can comprehend, I write. Otherwise, I don't write. So it
So
depends.
So the things that you comprehend, yet you write anyway. Why do you do that?
Because I want to have a notes of it so that
Oh, oh.
and honestly, I want to repeat it in my class.
Okay, yeah, okay. So yeah, so there's different reasons
Yes, yeah,
behind people taking. You could either, just like a you could take notes like a tape recorder, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
a written tape recorder, or you can take notes to highlight the points that you want to, really
yeah,
remember. And then
yeah.
there was a third reason you gave, I think.
Logical
Right?
sequence. I want to know the logical sequence. What is the logic Maharaj is trying to, or any lecture, what is the logic in that? So you write just logical points. Okay, first this section, this section, this section, like that. So like
Mm.
today I discussed about, okay, initially I told about how we have to work on the mind, make it calm. Then I told how the time is affecting on the mind. So then we discussed on the non-multitasking. So I have made three sections. So you just want to know, okay, these are the three sections that has discussed. So you immediately remember what all I told in that just by writing down the headings.
Hmm. Yeah, that would be challenging for me to because
Like today's
normally
class, I started talking about calming the mind, multitasking, and then I told why we need to do yoga so that we come to the present, the effect of time on mind. So these are the four parts I made the class like that. So you write down, then immediately you know what all things are discussed in the class.
yeah, I would have to hear that in replay, to
Yeah,
catch that logical
yeah.
sequence. Okay, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Umakant bro, you had some question?
I just wanted to add to Gail Mataji's problem. So you were saying, no? So writing notes at a time is sometimes very difficult. Yes, that is true. But when I was taking my classes on goal settings, no, I usually tell to people, I know people say that yeah, we have some goals in our life. That is one is spiritual goals, one is financial goals, and one is relationship goals. So when we ask to people, you have something written on the paper, then everybody will say, no, 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 you're not written. Everything is in our mind. So then I
Yeah,
tell them, writing down your goals is something. It's like a psycho-neuromotor activity. So what happens is that your nerves and your brain and vertebral cortex, everything is aligned, and you're making a notes on your own brain. So psycho-neuromotor activity. So similarly, notes. I know, Prabhuji, you do that because for you there is no requirement of notes because by repeating, by telling classes to most of the people, you're not, you remember things. Okay. So when we make notes, no, the forgetfulness curve is there. After 24 hours, we forget most of the things, and after 1 week's time, 80 to 90% of the things is already forgotten by the mind. So there
yes,
is something called forgetfulness curve. So
okay.
the notes are like the connecting dots between what we have listened in the class, and we just when we have a overlook on those things, no, then it will be easy for us to connect to the what has been told. That's what I observed, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
yes, bro, correct, correct, correct.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
My
Very good.
purpose of
Huh?
repeating is to remember only. I do this to remember.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Correct, correct. Repeating. I usually what I do is whatever I've discussed in a class. No, I meet people in my morning walk. So what I do is that before they talk, I tell them. Because they'll talk. No, they'll talk all the worldly things. So I tell them, I'll give you 1 minute. I'll give you one good story. So they have nothing to agenda in their mind. So I go with an agenda. So I go with an agenda. If somebody meets me, I'll tell one story. So I'll remember in that way.
Yeah.
What? And
Yes.
I'll not listen to all that worldly stuff is they share with me. That is my agenda while going to a morning walk.
You are helping them and you are helping yourself both.
Correct, correct, correct. Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Siddhakant Pro, still have question?
Still a small doubt. Sorry, I think it's getting
No, no,
delayed.
no, no.
So this, I mean, we hear lectures now, Prabhuji. So when we give the classes, should we speak only our relations, or can we repeat what we heard from our seniors, Prabhuji?
Our process is repeating only, bro. More you repeat, more we remember. Not that whatever I spoke, I have realization. It's all repeating only. We just have to repeat. That is our job.
Oh, because recently one senior devotee told me, only speak your relations. Don't, whatever you know, just don't speak like that. So I had he totally gave a different picture. But he told,
No,
see,
now
when
whatever I spoke, I don't have any much. I am not realized this. I want to practice this. That's why I'm speaking it. Not that I am living in present and no effect by past and no effect by future. It's not like that. I am 100% affected. I want to be in present. I am repeating it so that it goes into my system slowly, slowly, slowly. Because now I have repeated. At least I will try for 1, 2 hours. At least today I will try. And again, after some time, again I remember, oh, I spoke this. Again, I'll try to do it. So it is that, okay, if I am saying I'm not the body, spirit, soul, does that mean I realized it? No, no. I am
correct,
trying to
Prabhuji.
practice it. But still we are repeating it so that we want to understand it nicely. That's why.
Even Prabhuji, that in the discussion that is a very senior devotee, he was telling me, see, if you speak other than the relations, you will fall down his step. Means he will, yeah, he will create problems yourself and others also will mislead like that is telling Prabhuji.
It's a
It's
very
not correct.
high-fi points we are telling. Like if you are repeating the lecture of Radhanath Maharaj and humility, and you are telling if you are not humble and very heavy, sometime Maharaj makes some statement. If I am trying to repeat like him, that is what is dangerous. But if instead of telling like that, you say Maharaj said that no, we should be humble. Maharaj said we should be grateful. So we have to have gratitude. If you are telling as a repeating of him, that's not a problem. I should not repeat the style, the way he is telling, as if I am a guru, I have realized. That is wrong. Like now I am telling that I am not at the stage, but I want to practice. I gave a disclaimer and then I spoke. I did not speak as if I am doing and you all are fallen and you should do. I am not doing like that. You are understanding different.
Sorry, correct.
So
Now
there is
I'm
a difference in telling that you are all fallen souls. I am the most elevated, liberated. I have to deliver you. You follow me. It's not like that. We are trying to help each other. So
okay.
like that.
Now, yeah. Now I have able to see the difference.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Okay, something in chat box. Okay, thank you all very much. Okay, you have Umakant Pro sending you the curve. So in the chat box. Thank you all very much. So Rantra